What's up everyone, it's Ben from the Vinyl Jukebox and it's time for another Recent Finds video. So I've been picking up a lot of great music lately and I thought it would be the perfect time to do a Recent Finds video. I have some CDs to show, I have some vinyl to show, new music, old music. Before we get started, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, leave a like and a comment below this video, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. So we'll get started with the CDs, and as you guys know from my recent videos, I've mentioned that I've been buying a lot more new albums on CD. And I wanted to start off with the new Jerry Cantrell album. Jerry Cantrell, obviously guitar player from Alice in Chains. I Want Blood. I picked this up on CD. This solo album is really good. Really just sounds like new Alice in Chains to me, pretty much. I'm surprised he didn't use these songs for a new Alice in Chains album. Vilified, the lead single, great song. I really love the songs I Want Blood, Echoes of Laughter is really good too. Like I said, really reminiscent of a lot of his Alice in Chains stuff. I thought that his last solo album was a little softer, a little more acoustic based at times, but I definitely think he got a lot heavier with this album. So really good stuff. All right, next up on CD as well, Michael Schenker, My Years with UFO. I was a little late to pick this one up. I picked this one up a few weeks after it had come out, mainly because I know that there were some shipping delays with Amazon, and I ended up canceling my order because they said that it was going to be late and they didn't give me a time. So I was just streaming this album for a while. And basically it's Michael Schenker's UFO covers album. He has a lot of cool special guests on this album. Dee Snider from Twisted Sister, Roger Glover, Jolyn Turner, Carmine Appice, Slash, which I was really happy about, Eric Gromwald, the most recent singer from Skid Row, Biff Byford, Axl Rose. That was really the big one for me on this album because I was really curious to see how Axl Rose would sound being featured on a new album, because Axl Rose doesn't really do features very much, actually at all anymore, at least. It was cool. I thought that Axl sounded great on this album. It's cool. He does a good job. They all do a good job with the UFO covers. I mean, nothing can match the originals, but cool to have in the collection for sure. And the last CD I'm going to show is the new motleycrue EP, Canceled. I really, a lot of people were hating on the song Dogs of War. I actually really liked it when it came out. I thought it was really heavy. I thought it was really refreshing for this band's sound. But the song, the title track of this EP, Canceled, really stuck with me. That song is awesome. I love that song. What is it? Fight for Your Right cover, I didn't really care for. But, overall, I thought this was a cool EP. Wish it could have been a full album, but definitely glad to have some new motleycrue. All right, now, so for the moment you've all been waiting for, here comes the vinyl. So I wanted to start out with the new vinyl that I picked up. And I think, I didn't watch my last Recent Finds video, so I'm hoping that none of these popped up on the last Recent Finds video. But we'll see. I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments below afterwards. But first one I want to mention, I want to go through the new albums first, new releases first, I should say. And first up was the MC5's most recent album and last album, it looks like it's going to be, Heavy Lifting. This is a really cool comeback album. It's really sad that Wayne Kramer passed away right before the release a few months ago, actually. But this was a really cool band that he put together and really sounds like a modern day version of the MC5, in my opinion. Some great special guests on here. Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine on the title track. We have William Duvall from Alice in Chains and Slash on another track. Just a really cool garage rock, but still modern at the same time type album. Really brings the spirit of the MC5 to a new modern age, and the songs on it rock. I mean, I was really actually surprised with this album. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did, but this one was awesome. Loved it. All right, next up, Miles Kennedy. The Art of Letting Go. Picked this up on release day. Really cool solo album from Miles. His last two solo albums have been a lot more acoustic based. Last one kind of wasn't last one, but still a little softer. This one he gets a lot heavier on. This one's really rocking. Not quite as heavy as Alter Bridge. Not really as rocking in the style that he does with Slash. But definitely a really cool solo album from him. You know, I love hearing Miles. He's sounding as good as ever, working with Elvis Basket again, which I think he does his best work with. I wish that Slash would go back to him as a producer, because I really don't think that Dave Cobb works well with him. But Miles Kennedy's Art of Letting Go, definitely recommend it. Really great album, great songs, heavy riffs, a lot of fun to listen to. All right, next up, and this is the last of the new releases for the vinyl. This is Mark Farner from Grand Funk Railroad's latest solo album, Closer to My Home. And this one I was really excited about because, as you guys have seen in my last few videos, I've been really on a big Grand Funk kick lately. So this really came out at the right time. And this honestly just sounds like a modern day Grand Funk album. It's funky, it gets heavy at times, it's got some R&B influence as well, it's rocking at times too, really fun listen, produced by Mark Slaughter of the band Slaughter, so that's definitely where the heaviness comes in. Really cool that he decided to go back and re-record the song I'm Your Captain for the 55th anniversary, and I think he sounds better than ever. I'm going to see him actually next month. Super excited about that. But Mark Farner, Closer to Home, definitely check this out. He sounds as good as ever. His voice did not go one bit. All right, so now next up I have a couple of reissues here. The first one I was really excited to get because I really enjoy this album, and that's the Ramones' Animal Boy. This one was reissued for Rocktober, which is Rhino Records' kind of annual release event. In October, they re-release albums oftentimes that are kind of hard to get. They do release some common albums sometimes too, but this one was definitely a little, you know, harder to get and out of print, and so I was really excited that this one went back into print. Love Somebody Put Something in My Drink, Bonzo Goes to Blitzburg, of course. Just a great album from the Ramones, and I love this one. I think it's a little underrated in their catalog, if you ask me. All right, next up, and this one just came today. I haven't even opened it yet, but I'm really excited. I've heard this album a million times, and I was really excited to get it. This is Stanley Turrentine with the Three Sounds Blue Hour. Really cool Blue Note classic reissue for my jazz kick that I'm on now. And this is just a really mellow, chill album. Definitely worth listening to at night, like a late at night album or an early morning album. This is definitely an album to relax and chill to, and that's kind of why I love it so much. Of course, it's a Blue Note classic, so it's mastered by Kevin Gray, so I can expect that it sounds great. And this went on sale on Amazon, and I've been looking to get this album for a while, so I just couldn't resist. All right, next up, now we're going to get into some used records that I picked up, and the first two here are gems that I found. They're dollar bin gems, like total great finds for the price that I got them for. So the first one here is So Much Guitar, Wes Montgomery. Probably my favorite jazz guitar player. This is on the Riverside label, and this is an original copy with the shrink. It's very noisy, but it still plays pretty well. I cleaned it up. When it was in the dollar bin, it was a little dirty, but I figured I could clean it up and make it sound a lot better. And so, you know, it sounds a little rough, but it's great to definitely have an original copy of this in my collection for sure. All right, next up, and this was another really great find, and this was another dollar bin find, but it sounds a lot better than the last one. This is the Cat Jimmy Smith. Just great jazz album, RVG and the Dead Wax, so Van Gelder on Verve Records. I really enjoyed this one. I was actually thinking of picking this up from somewhere, but you can't beat $1. And this one is definitely not as noisy as the West Montgomery. A tiny bit noisy, but it cleaned up really well. The only thing about this one was there's a little writing up top there, and then like this black dot here, which is raised. I don't know, it's like a mole on the record, so I don't really know how I could get that off. I don't want to tear the cover or anything. It was $1, so I'm just gonna leave it. But I have the one and only copy signed by Merit, so I might have to take this to get authenticated for the previous owner. All right, next up, and this one was a find from the Westchester Records show that I went to a few weeks ago. It's a record show in New York. And this one, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, Black Sabbath. I didn't have a copy of this in my collection, and I really wanted it for a long time, and I was just kind of looking for the right price. This is kind of like a hold copy for me for right now. I definitely want to get a nicer copy because the ring wear here and then the writing on it is kind of annoying. But it plays really well, which is great. So even, you know what, if I could find a nicer cover, I could just swap the records. But wanted to have this in the collection because this is my favorite Black Sabbath album, and I didn't have a copy before. So that was, you know, something I definitely wanted to add. All right, next up, I have, I haven't listened to this one yet. Haven't really been in the mood for it yet, but this is an original 1956 mono 6-side label, Columbia, of Ambassador Sash, Louis Armstrong. And I've been adding a bunch of Louis Armstrong to the collection. Cool to get. I think I paid like $5 for this one, so definitely a cool find and excited to listen to it. But it's one of those things where, I don't know, with certain albums, jazz albums, or even rock albums, I have to be in the mood to listen to them. And, you know, that one's one of the albums that I haven't quite been feeling it yet, but I will. So that will be coming soon. I'll let you guys know what I think of that one soon. This one I really enjoyed. This is Bags and Train, Milt Jackson and John Coltrane. Found a Milt Jackson album a few months ago at a Goodwill. Picked it up for $1, and I really, you know, usually I didn't like vibes in jazz, but I really enjoyed his vibes, and so this was really awesome to pick up, especially with John Coltrane. I wish it could have a little more John Coltrane on it, but it's definitely cool, like these like team up albums that Coltrane did. And I really enjoyed this one. Want to give it a few more listens for sure, but this one was a lot of fun, and glad that I picked it up because you know, I never really had an appreciation for the vibes before Milt Jackson, and then just adding Coltrane to it, who's one of the best, just made it really great. And I went back and forth on this, and I didn't check out the last Recent Finds video, so I wasn't sure. But I figured I'd show it anyway because it's a really cool album. The Damned Machine Gun Etiquette. I picked this up. It's a reissue, but I picked this up online because I was listening to it on streaming, and I really enjoyed it. Really great classic punk album from the Damned. This is the only Damned I have in my collection, the first one that I picked up. So I figured it would be this one because I know that this is one of their more popular albums. But yeah, so really enjoying this one too. All right, so those are some of my recent finds, or at least the ones that I could find for this video. So definitely more recent finds coming soon, and especially with Record Store Day, Black Friday coming up next week, I'm going to have a lot more in the collection. And even tomorrow is November 22nd. 2024, so big new album release day. Maybe I'll even put a review up this weekend, so definitely be on the lookout for that. So there you have it, everybody. Those are my recent finds, and let me know in the comments below what cool albums have you found recently, what new albums have come out that you're really excited about. Are any of them potential contenders for your top albums of the year? Let me know in the comments below. All right, everybody, before I go, please be sure to leave a like and a comment below this video, subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications, share the video, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.